Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another Live from the Knitting Wars. I'm Deplorable Knitter. We've got Ann Pinkova and Neil, who you all know, but we have a new guest today. We have Horror Amorata, who is brand new to me, and I know that Ann went and hung out with you, but she never sent me the link. So tell us about who you are. No, you never send me stuff.
Oh gosh. Well, now I feel awkward. No, I'm kidding. I am I started as a VTuber, but I'm a Twitch video game streamer of various sorts. I do video games and talk a lot. I'm also into crafting, which is kind of how I got here. So
cool.
Not much of a knitter. I managed to get some. I got this far.
Well, that's good.
So
that's a start.
I've made a start. Yeah. Normally I crochet, so I'm finding that that's a little easier.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's me.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
So Neil has said before that we should have like a timed crochet thing, but since so many of our guests knit instead of crochet, that it's like we'd have to figure out our different boards. And he said
I do a time crochet thing.
I think it's our only way of ever beating Tabitha.
Does she crochet?
I think she can, but I don't think she does. So that's it's our chance.
It's like I can knit, but I don't.
I do both, and it depends on what I'm making. Like here is a blanket I'm making for my neighbor. I have a neighbor that like gives my kids stuff all the time and everything. And so I decided to make her a gift this winter for Christmas or not for Christmas, depending on how life goes. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know it's coming, so there's no pressure there. Oh, Murder Knit says she can't crochet worth a shit. See, that's why we're going to do the crochet leaderboard too. But I only do it for some projects like blankets and toys and stuff because I don't have the attention span to knit those. But
I find crochet is quick, but it really hurts. After a while, I get really bad sort of pain there, so I have to stop after a while.
That might explain the pain in my wrist all of a sudden. Because I crocheted a lot.
Funny how these things happen, isn't it?
No, I found that me with wrist pain, that, if I'm just like hanging out, I'll lean my wrist up against my body. I'm like, oh, there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that early onset carpal tunnel is nothing to joke with.
Yeah, no, I'll that.
Right. Just put some pressure on it.
I wake up every morning with these 3 fingers, these ones. Asleep, and somebody told me that's carpal tunnel.
It is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm like,
absolutely
surgery for that. So
that's all I need.
Yeah, I've had my surgery. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Two scars.
Nice.
I don't think I'm that age yet, Neil. Am I? I'm coming. I'm coming up on it.
I'll tell you why I had to have it, because I did a silly thing when I first started knitting and crocheting. I had a really bad allergic reaction where I was covered from head to foot in this really horrible rash that lasted for about 2 weeks, and it coincided with me starting to knit with wool. So I made the assumption that I was allergic to wool. So for the first year, maybe 2 years, I only ever knitted with bamboo. And bamboo is like cotton. It's got no give at all. And I think that's why I ended up with carpal tunnel, because it was just too tough, on my hands, because I've got soft hands.
You're so delicate that it just tore you up.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's funny. How long have you been crocheting? Or
well, I probably started when I was like 4. My whole life, my family, it's like my great aunt crocheted, my mom crocheted. So, just from the time I could really pick up and handle a needle, I was learning. So,
yeah.
I've just realized that's a real person in the background. I thought.
Yeah, no, that's an actual human being there.
I thought it was one of those backgrounds, you choose on your laptop.
Yeah, no, he just stays really still. So, but
is he like gaming or something back there?
Huh?
Is he like gaming or something back there?
No, actually, I believe he's working or something.
Oh, like a real job? That's
no.
People have real jobs.
He's Eric July's community manager.
Okay.
So he's probably off managing community
So he's
things.
kind of like a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, but
That's cool. Oh my god. Hallowed Angel says it's not an age thing. It just depends. Dang it. I was hoping that I was just too young for it still.
no, I think my mom had her first one in her 40s.
Yeah, well, I'm not
And-
40 yet. I'm close, but I'm not there.
What you might want to do is look up some of the exercises because
Yeah.
you know the stretching ones, because you don't want to have the operation, because the thing with the operation is it's great for about a year, and then what happens is the scar then acts as the same thing that you had carpal tunnel with. So there's like a band of something, of some gristle or something that they cut away, but then the scar replaces it. So really, you end up having to have it done again. But I'm not having it done again because I don't want to go through it again.
My mom had a different surgery because she doesn't have a scar here. I think they went in up here.
Well, I think
something.
If you had it done privately, which you will have done in America, they probably did it keyhole, whereas we have it done by the NHS, so we're literally sliced open with an axe. You know.
Okay. Yeah, that.
I'm exaggerating. Just in
But
case you
not that
didn't
much, really. No.
So it's another point in the socialized medicine there. You just get sliced open with an axe whenever you want to.
Talking about that,
I light a cane on it, and yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, blowtorch to seal it, to cauterize it, and we're done. Good to go. Yeah, I don't know if you saw or whether the news has been over there, but there's been a couple of more cases of ambulances not turning up for 12 hours and people dying, and also waits in what you would call the emergency room being over 12 hours long before people are seen as well. So it's building up, and it's because now suddenly out of nowhere, flu is back. It's like, where's it been? You know, suddenly it's back. So suddenly the NHS is, on the verge of collapse again because of flu.
Isn't it always?
Sorry, what's that?
Isn't it always?
Yeah, it's been on the verge of collapse since 1948.
But
that's when it started.
have they had the Tylenol shortage over there too, Neil? Because here in the US, we've had it because of RSV and the flu. There was no children's Tylenol.
I don't know if we have Tylenol or whether it's called something different here. It's not something I'm aware of.
Paracetamol?
Oh, paracetamol.
I think so.
I don't think there's a shortage. I mean,
I think it more easily over there.
Yeah, it was so bad here. I went to the store to get my kids some because I always have some on hand. And the shelf, it was just empty. Like nothing, like everything was wiped out. And so like I called my mother-in-law, she lives in another town, and I'm like, hey, so when you go to the store, like if you see any, I don't care what flavor it is, I don't care what.
You have like, flavored paracetamol?
For the kids, it's liquid.
Right.
So or they have the chewy tablets, so it's got flavor in it, so it's not completely disgusting.
But it still is.
Oh yeah. And they really, really hate grape. But I'm like, don't get grape unless that's all there is, and then get grape.
See, when I'm sick, I'm a big believer in liquid NyQuil. Man, take a cupful of that, knock you right out. And even so, that I'm just like, even as an adult, I just make the little kid face of, okay.
Yeah. No, this stuff is so much better though than when I was a kid. Like, I know that we had flavored stuff when I was a kid back in the 80s, but now it's like actually not gross, and it's amazing.
I actually liked Dynatap back in the 80s. It was sweet, but it wasn't like, it didn't taste like grape, but it was just sweet and didn't taste nasty like cherry. Cherry always tasted.
Yeah, well, because like everything, grape, they make grape purple. Purple doesn't taste like whatever that medicine flavor is purple. It's not grape. That's the problem. So that's why they don't like it. Murder Knit says that her hippie crunchy stuff was in stock. I'm sure if I ever run out, I'll ask you what it is, but we didn't need it. I just wanted to have like a bottle of it, because when they get sick, they go through a whole bottle and then you're out, and then you're like, oh crap, now what? So, it's always good to have a little extra, but anyway.
I swear by whiskey, lemon, hot water, bit of honey, a couple of them, and you're sorted.
Actually is great, especially if you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but Neil, they frown on me giving that to my kids, so I try not to.
That explains so much. I think my mother gave that to me when I was a child.
No, That was something. It was some friend of ours who was like, "Yeah, you know, when I was a kid, my grandpa would just give me some blackberry cordial or something like that." I'm like, you know, NyQuil is pretty much there's a high alcohol content in NyQuil.
Did you not get the whiskey-soaked cotton wool on your gums and on your teeth when you had toothache?
Yeah, that's what my mom used to do for me.
Yeah, because we had that as kids.
I think I had it as a kid, but they don't do it now. You know, heaven forbid you know, when in the 80s when I was a kid, like it was funny to like have that picture of you like, you know, licking the top of a beer. Now if you do it, they come and take your kids away. So it's just maybe back in the day.
But it's okay to genitally mutilate them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to worry about the real important stuff here, Neil, which is letting them have a little bit of whiskey on their gums as a little antiseptic there, you know, a little pain relief.
Yeah, because my 2-year-old self. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to relate a story. My parents moved to Germany when I was 2, and this would have been 84. We get there, they're given a box of chocolates for an arrival gift. So I'm sitting in the back seat. They give me the chocolates. I eat the chocolates, and I'm drunk off my ass because they're Osbach chocolates. And they don't realize until I've eaten half the box.
Nice.
I used to sneak those when I was a kid because my mum and dad always used to get one given to them by someone, and I used to go in and sneak them.
That's so funny.
So were you in Germany? So did you go to Germany as well? I'm assuming you weren't left behind.
Yeah, no. They went. They took me. I was 2.
It's just the way you phrased
back
it.
Then they would have frowned on leaving your child home alone for that long. So no, we lived there for 4 years.
So did you miss the wall coming down? Or
I was like I said, I was 2. I don't know when the wall came. I don't even remember when the wall came down. So I was 89. There from 84 to 88.
So you would have come back just before, right?
Yeah.
You weren't a wee small child going, "Yay, Ronald Reagan!"
Yeah, no, I had no idea what was going on. I was more interested in my Hot Wheels and Barbie dolls.
As you should be. Because it's something Ann and I have talked about on our regular show several times. I'm against these kids that they're trying to like make political activists. Like my kids are under 10 and they know about stuff, and I'm a very outspoken political, you know, I'm into the stuff, but they're kids. I'm not like telling them what to do. I hate these people that are making their kids into billboards. You should not know who, unless you're Anne, who apparently was following politics, you know, when she was 3. But
that would have been Anne's choice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, my best friend has she's 7 or 8 now. Either way, it's a kid below 10. And I was talking to her, and I'd picked up her daughter from school because I kind of, you know, I help out because she's my friend and it's her kid and I love her kid. And I bring her home and she's like, "Where's her Ruth Bader Ginsburg shirt?" And I'm like, "What?" And now keep in mind, her daughter goes to a Catholic school, and this was right after Roe v. Wade was overturned. So she was putting her daughter in a shirt she didn't care about and sending her to a Catholic school because reasons. And then I had to point out to her, of course, that Ginsburg wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. She thought it was bad law. It was a very interesting day.
So did she put her in that shirt just to annoy the Catholics?
Yeah.
Just to create
Well, I mean, she's so strange sometimes because she grew up Catholic. She sends her daughter purposely to a Catholic school and still does stuff like that. I don't know.
Is that though because, I don't know about there, but in the UK, Catholic schools are pretty much, well, they're a lot better. You get a better education at a Catholic school than you would at a state school.
I don't know. At least not in the case of this one. I mean, our public schools here are pretty good. I have issues with the public school system, but we'll set that aside for now. And the Catholic school is okay too, but I don't know how much you're really getting if you're spending half the day talking just about the Bible. So.
I think I've told people before. Oh, go on. Sorry. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I went to a Christian school and we didn't spend half the day talking about the Bible. We had one period dedicated to it. And so maybe it's that kind of thing.
I've just seen a lot of her schoolwork, and a lot of it seems to be biblically related.
I homeschool my kids, and a lot of their stuff is biblically related. It's amazing how they can put it all into every subject. It all comes around.
Yeah, those fish and loaves on that mountain. That's a good maths lesson.
It is a good math lesson for sure.
Nothing wrong with that.
As the person who was both homeschooled and worked at a Christian summer camp, I'll just kind of shuffle away.
I only went to public schools, so. But I went to public schools on military bases, which are apparently different from public schools everywhere else somehow.
Interesting.
Because I'm sitting here with people who I never learned that in school, and I'm like, are you kidding me? That was like 3rd grade.
Huh.
That's interesting. Murder Net says that the private schools are way better there. I mean, I think they're better here too. I think it depends on the state. What state are you in, Horror?
I'm in Montana.
So private and public is different to the UK.
Oh,
isn't
huge
it?
difference.
Right.
It's pretty much the opposite, isn't it?
Right. It's a flip language.
Right.
So we would say, public schools are the state-run schools, and I think you say public schools are the private schools for us.
Yeah.
So
that's so odd.
you pay to go
It's
to
weird,
the
isn't it?
public schools.
And this time it's definitely us that have got that one wrong, I think.
Yeah.
I'll I'll accept
He
that.
can admit when they're wrong occasionally.
Yeah, just once in a while. Oh, speaking of American and British, English, I was so pleased that neither of us won this. Well, you call it soccer. We call it football. It was 0-0, so I can still show my face because I was a bit worried. Well, I think you guys are out now, I think.
I couldn't even begin to tell you.
Sorry, there's this Babylon Bee article that was like Americans glad they don't have to pretend what they care about what happens in soccer.
For another 4 years, yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, though, I was really surprised. Sorry, I know you don't want to talk about this, but I was really surprised at how good the American team was. Because I've always thought the American football team, soccer, was a bit of a joke, really, as in you were so far behind because you were never interested in it. But you were actually really good, really good. So
I think our, how do I say it? As our population changes, it becomes more interested in soccer.
Why do you think that is? What's that about?
A lot of them are coming from South America.
Ah, yes,
South
it's
American
big there.
football.
Yeah, very big.
Yeah. I remember, so speaking of soccer and South Americans and the Christian summer camp I worked at, so there was this guy
And it comes back around.
It all connected. It was so funny. I don't remember if it was the World Cup or if it was another like big championship match, but it was happening during the summer. And I worked in the kitchens, and this guy was one of the counselors. And the counselors, you have to focus on the kids all day as you shepherd them around their events. You're not allowed to be on your phone, which makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was so into this soccer match, and it was Argentina playing, and he was so excited. So we're like, it's okay. We'll put it on a computer in the kitchen, and we'll, text you if somebody scores. And we're sitting there, and we're, shuffling around doing kitchen things, going back. So it's like, what's the score? Still 0. It's like, oh, should we text them at the bottom of the quarter that it's still 0? Sure, we will. It's like, it's a shootout at the end. And we're like, wow, I hope somebody does something. Oh, he fell over. I guess that doesn't matter.
You're being so unfair compared to, is it baseball? I mean, I've watched a couple of baseball games and they last about 18 hours and nobody seems to do anything.
Baseball is definitely one of the more boring sports.
Oh, I went to America years ago, and it was one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to eat a Twinkie because I'd seen adverts for them in the comics that I used to read. And the way they were advertised, I thought they were going to be the most amazing cakes ever. And obviously, I was very disappointed and I only ever had one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't die of some kind of poisoning. But I had the Twinkie at a baseball match, and I had to pretend I was interested, and I was bored. And the most exciting bit about the whole day was sitting on, do you call them bleachers?
Mm-hmm.
Which reminded me of the Grease movie, because we don't have them here, or we never did when I was young anyway. So it was a bit like pretending I was, Danny Zuko. And that's my recollection of American baseball.
Oh, yeah. No, the only time baseball is interesting is when it's a movie.
Yes.
I don't know. when I was a kid, we used to go to baseball games, and I saw like a perfect game once. I was at Yankee Stadium in the 90s, and somebody pitched a perfect game, and it was like awesome and fun. But if I hadn't been there, I still wouldn't have cared. So, you know.
Well, the other thing I can't get over with baseball and American football is how nice the people are in the crowds. You know, you're very, family oriented.
Afterwards, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's no fighting, there's no chanting, abuse at people, there's no throwing things on the pitch. What's that about?
For real?
Call yourself a sport.
Well, we're mainly armed, so it's usually a bad idea.
Good point.
That's so. Is it like terrifying to go to like live sports where you are?
Yeah, it is. The first time you go, I have to say, it is scary because you walk out. If you've been to these big arena games, you know what it's like. It's going to be the same in America. You walk out onto where all the seats are, and it's just like breathtaking, isn't it? But it's their chanting, and it's very tribal, like really tribal. And all it's going to take is one thing, and there's going to be fights.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Philadelphia game. Apparently, is that really rough?
Yeah.
I mean, there are footballs.
Brotherly love place.
Yeah.
Billy's
brotherly love.
Yeah, and I just saw on Twitter that there's a gas station that now has armed guards because there's so much love.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
He hired private armed guards because he was tired of the violence and being robbed, and he decided, screw it. If they're not going to do anything about it, I'm going to hire people to stand out in front of my place with guns.
Wow. That's crazy.
I guess it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I...
sorry.
Traditionally, they didn't, but now they do. And children are there. So, fathers take their kids along. And it's where, I know it sounds weird, but it's definitely where young boys learn how to not get in a fight. I know this sounds weird, but you learn how to navigate men, like when you're young and little, how to not annoy men, how to not get beaten up, basically. But yeah, when I remember when we were young, it was in the 70s. Every match there was a fight. It was proper hooliganism. It was like dangerous then. It's not so bad now. But the chanting is the thing now. So it's like. But sometimes it's funny because we have people actually write songs for the crowds to sing, and they're usually really offensive but funny, so funny, and they're always like right on the edge of being really bad, like
arrestable
really
offenses.
Yeah. But yeah, women are there now. There's a lot more women involved. And the women's game is getting more interesting again. It used to be years ago within the war. It was a very interesting game, apparently. Obviously, I wasn't there then, believe it or not. Yeah, if you can believe that, yeah. And now it is getting a bit better.
Santa, I thought that you never died.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yes. I just don't like to give away my real age.
I always thought Santa was Scandinavian.
Goody.
Look at the dude in his beard and his fuzzy bathrobe that he has on.
There we go.
I mean, come on.
He does look warm. I'll give him that.
It's very cold here, and I'm refusing to put the heating on. So this is why I've got this. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently we're going to get snow this week, so I might take some photos of myself wearing this outside in the snow.
Oh, we already have snow, so.
Where are you? Whereabouts? Or do you not
Montana,
say?
upper U.S.
So is that near the border of Canada or on the border?
It's basically on the border of Canada, yeah.
So you kind of sit in the center.
Than I am.
Upper left portion. It's what is it? Washington, Idaho, Montana. It's a velvet robe.
Don't insult Santa's robe.
Yes, 72 elves died making this. This is the blood of elves that dyed it.
Not nearly as many people who died making the Qatar Stadium.
No.
Oh, well, it's not funny,
We're not
that, is it?
allowed
But
to
it
talk
is.
about that. Oh my gosh, you guys.
No, but I was going to say earlier with the Philadelphia and the fights and things, I don't know if I said at the time, but a couple months ago, my friend and I drove into Philadelphia for the day, quick see the Liberty Bell, see all the sights, and then, get back out of there because I had never been. I was really excited. So we go in and we're like, and she's like, okay, got to get a Philly cheesesteak. We're going to do this. So we're walking down the street and looking at all the signs. I'm like, okay, Philly cheesesteak shop. So I walk in and there is a policeman there taking a statement. And I'm like, oh no.
Must be a great place.
I know. And then my friend's like, because, she actually looks at reviews and she's like, this isn't a good place. I'm like, no, it's not a good place. There's a cop right there.
But Anne, the best time to order Philly steaks from that place is when the cop is there.
That is
true. I mean, odds are it'll be better than usual.
So what's so good about a Philly steak? What is it?
Sorry.
Well, it's chopped beef. They do peppers, different kinds of cheese, onions, mushrooms sometimes, depends on it. The traditional way, I believe, is with Cheese Whiz.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not my favorite, but
what's Cheese Whiz?
It's cheese in a can.
But what?
Okay,
Excuse me.
I actually have some because it's my dog's birthday tomorrow, and that's what I use for my dog's birthdays. I get little Ritz crackers and I squeeze them. You've never seen this, Neil?
Go get it, Anne.
Yeah, definitely get it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments has put spray cheese.
Yes, it's spray cheese.
It's a total thing. It comes out like whipped cream out of the cans. You know how you get whipped cream in a can and you go shh.
And is it actually cheese, or is it something that's
Kind
been
of.
made up?
Cheese product.
Made of milk?
Has it ever seen a cow?
I don't know. I think it's along the lines of like Velveeta and American, like the sliced American.
It's a processed cheese product.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we have the slices that come in those little film wrapping things that you have to unwrap.
Yeah, no, that's American cheese typically. And yeah, the cheese steak is a sandwich. It's that chopped up meats and peppers between in a hoagie roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good.
So basically, you spoil the steak by squirting.
Oh no, it's not good.
On the top.
It's not like good meat. It's like
this is sounding really good.
No, but it is really good.
It's
like a shaved beef that maybe isn't the best cut, but once you shave it and you fry it and you put all the crap on it, it's delicious.
Yeah. So you're taking something that normally wouldn't be a great piece of meat, and you're making it better.
Okay. I love talking to Neil about stuff that like he's never heard of. It's the best. He's really disturbed, Anne.
Oh, well, this is very important.
It's gonna get worse.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Name brand, easy cheese, not a sponsor.
That's the only kind there is, easy cheese.
Exactly. We did think of going off-brand, because it is for the dog, but of course we're going to finish the can, so it doesn't matter. So get my
like it's expensive.
I'm scared of what's in that packet that you're opening.
No, that's
just crackers.
Just Ritz crackers.
Oh,
those are delicious.
Right. Yeah.
Normal.
Do you call them crackers there, or are they something else?
Yeah, crackers. Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I thought it was like a lump of meat when I first saw it. I was what the hell?
This be a cracker thing, let me tell you. I got pull the little pull tab. And
you see, this is the fresh spray cheese. She's even opening it here in front of us. Fancy.
Yeah.
I am.
Have you ever tasted real cheese?
Of course.
As
We
you
just
see,
appreciate all kinds of cheese here.
All kinds of cheese products.
Yes.
exactly. Got it. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can make Anne really big so that here, Anne, so that Neil can enjoy your cheese.
Okay.
He has to see this.
Okay. Well, got it going a little bit. So
Oh no, you gotta make her big again.
It's
She's
not letting
small
me
again.
do it. Hold on.
it's very important. Easy cheese.
It's not letting me do it.
Kind. Serving per container.
Leaning Tower of Cheesa.
Okay, it won't let me do it. I don't know how to do it. Okay.
It's okay. You're just gonna have to focus. I'll just get it really, really close. This is very important. Gotta get the angle right. Sorry for the shaky hand, like I said.
Yeah, why are you
And it's
shaking
not like it's
like
the easiest thing to press. I've always had problems with that.
There we go. I can get it from the other direction.
Horrified.
That.
I don't want to tell you what that looked like to me.
There's a little bit. And then you can like play games like charades, not charades, Pictionary, you know, like what
You can draw with it.
Do messages one letter at a time.
So
I have never ever seen anything like it. I've never heard of this ever. This
Excellent source of calcium. It says so on the can.
So what are the ingredients?
Also sodium.
What's actually in it? Does it say? Or is it a secret?
1 second.
It's
No
probably
need
got-
to refrigerate.
Oh, Jesus. You know that's bad if you don't have to put it in the fridge.
So,
Okay.
Anne, before you start, this is telling me that we need to send Neil a care package.
Oh, Jesus. But does that mean
You're
I
going
would
to have to make
eat
sure that can be
these things?
shipped first.
Yeah, they might
you
not
know,
let us mail it to them.
pressurized.
Well, you do know that, that drink, Kool-Aid, that you dye everything with, we can't get that in the stores here because one of the colours is actually banned in the EU. So even though we're not in the EU anymore, we still have it. So there's a red colour that is dangerous to health, according
Red
to
40?
us.
Probably.
Could be, yeah. I'm not sure.
Red 46.
Just Neil's face when you ate that. If we can mail it to you, you're gonna have to eat it. We're gonna have to. You know what? We'll all do it on one of these. We'll all
right.
have some spray.
Okay, we'll have to do a deal then. Obviously, I can't do it to all of you because it'll cost me a fortune. But I'll send one of you some Marmite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
That's
is.
just mean.
I don't remember if I've had Vegemite or Marmite, but I've had one of them. Yeah.
They're very similar. Very similar.
What is it?
Oh, Adam's in the comments. Adam, can you think of anything else that I should send to the ladies to taste that's British or English? Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head that you will. Oh, unless I don't think I'd be able to send black pudding over to you.
No, but they could
Thank
probably
God.
find some.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Would you try black pudding?
No.
No.
But that's natural. That's completely natural.
Or it wasn't British. It was Korean blood sausages, which I know are on the same sort of wavelength. And I'm like, it's not as if I often look at things and go, ew, that's not kosher. I mean, I eat pork, I eat bacon, but that's one of those things of, I think they're right about that. I think eating the blood, I think that's not cool. And we're just not going to go there.
Yeah. He says English chocolates. What is that?
Why
would that be scary?
Well, it wouldn't, because without being
English
horrible,
chocolate's better.
Hirschner's chocolate is the most hideous thing I've ever tasted in my life.
What is?
Hirschner's, your chocolate, Hershey's, sorry, yeah,
Yeah, it's
sorry.
waxy.
And did you know that Hershey's has made it so that Cadbury chocolate, which is in the UK, are not allowed to sell directly to the US market? They've made it illegal, so you can buy it in like English stores over there, like for a fortune, but they're not allowed to import it. So,
because in my Walmart, you can walk in and get whatever their caramel bars are, and that's Cadbury.
Maybe
that might be coming to an end. That whatever they'd had, whatever agreement they'd managed to strong arm in place, because you can find more Cadbury here than you used to in the past.
I would always. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Here, Branston pickle.
They're different.
Oh yes, but I think you'd like Branston pickle.
What is it?
I don't know what it is.
That's one of the things I haven't heard of.
Oh, it's hard to explain. It's like it's going to sound disgusting, but it's not as nasty as it sounds. It's chunks of beetroot in like a brown sauce that has got some tamarind flavor to it. So, and it's lovely. It's really nice it'd be nice with that horrible cheese if you could figure out a way.
No, none of that sounds good to me.
Yeah, we should definitely do a food thing. I think that's something we'll try and do, eh?
Okay.
Oh, what's up? She's back.
Sorry, I just had to finish eating that cracker.
Oh, be honest, you were sick. You just ate it and then you vomited. Come on.
I have to say, this is terrible and I love it. It's amazing.
Did you say what was in it? Did you say the ingredients?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Ingredients. Serving size 2 tablespoons, 7 servings per container, calories 80. Ingredients, first ingredients, whey, canola oil. So, that good seed oil, right, Tabitha? Milk protein concentrate, cheddar cheese, milk, salt, cheese culture enzymes. Milk contains less than 2% of sodium citrate, sodium phosphate, salt, calcium phosphate, lactic acid, milk fat, sodium alginate, sorbic acid as preservative, sodium caseinate, whatever, acetic acid, color, enzymes, cheese culture. Good for you.
At least there was some cheddar cheese in there.
I mean, there's plenty of whey in milk product.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's nice.
Maybe.
Murdered It's us put first ingredient, cancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, content pressure. So I'm not sure we can send this to you, Neil, but we'll.
Yeah, you need some pressurized message manage.
What about those little packets that they have where they have the bad pretzels and then they have the cheese whiz packets? Those could probably be shipped.
Oh, they ones that you dip?
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of it being in a can. That's the thing. Because we do have soft cheese, like in a packet that you spreadable cheese, but I've never seen that ever.
Still a little different. That's more related to actual cheese than that.
Well, is it in America where you can have a whole canned chicken?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
It's not super common, but
you can't find them often.
Super gross, though.
They're out there.
Super gross.
It is.
Ooh.
There are people out there who like canned chicken.
I mean, I've
sorry, go on.
Canned chicken. I haven't taken a whole chicken and put it in a can, but in pieces, pressure can the whole thing.
Right.
Oh, but you've done that yourself.
But it's a little
yeah, that's different, I think, isn't it? Yeah. If you've done it yourself, that's fine. But it's the fact, I don't know, there's just something wrong about it.
No, it is nicer if you own it first. But...
It's like the opposite of free range,
Oh, when you look at it come out of the chicken, the can, it definitely does not look edible.
We've talked about beans before, haven't we? Where you put that horrible blob of pork fat in the middle.
Pork and beans, yeah. I don't like beans in general. So.
Hey, I've seen All Creatures Great and Small. I know about the people who do the entire block of fat and then call that. You can't say that our country does the gross stuff.
Oh, well, we're all gross, aren't we? Come on, we need to admit that, don't we? We all eat gross stuff. It's what you're used to, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys are talking about the pretzel sticks with the spreadable cheese.
Mm-hmm.
My kids really like that snack. And we had a friend over, and my kids were going, "Oh, yeah, I love this." And we gave it to the friend, and they tried to eat it, and they were like, "Yeah, I don't think I like this." It's like,
I think if I ever came over to America, I think I'd lose a lot of weight.
I think you probably gain a lot of weight too, though, because while there's some absolutely disgusting food, fried butter is amazing.
Fried butter.
It's so they literally take just a piece of butter and they wrap it and then they fry it. You would think it would be like biting into a piece of butter, but no, it's just like a really well buttered roll.
Interesting. So, Ellie Mae, thank you. Thank you for your contribution to Neil's Cheese Whiz. Yes. Have you had Spam?
I have had Spam. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know the what were they called? Monty Python.
Oh yeah.
Spam song. Spam.
Oh yeah.
Spam. Yeah.
Okay.
Spam, eggs and spam.
Okay. Though, yay America. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know if y'all have ever been to the Spam Museum. Absolutely should go. It's an amazing museum. It is so much fun, and it's actually really cool historically going. Anyways, it's in Minnesota, so we went to the Spam Museum, and the gift shop is worth it alone because you can find Spam on the stupidest stuff. You want Spam shoelaces, you can get it. So we blew a lot of money that day and had a great time. But part of the Spam Museum is that they talk about how it's like, no, spam has fed the world. That during World War II, anywhere where people were down on food and down on protein, that was England too. Part of America's assistance to them is just ship them spam. Like
I think at one time in the UK, well, in England, the only things people could eat was spam and whale meat. Although we can't get that now. Apparently that tastes like steak.
Interesting.
No, never had. We had swordfish before. That was really nice. So I can see that being kind of on the same thing. But yeah, anyways, history of spam. Spam will take us to Mars if we ever get there. We'll survive. That's what I say.
Dried spam. Oh God.
Do you have tinned corned beef? Oh, you do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You can get tinned.
That's a
you can
big
get canned corned beef hash too.
Oh.
No, this is all grossing me out. There's something about canned meat that I just really find revolting. Like,
it's
I don't
the jelly.
Yes, and my husband will be like, "Oh, my dad got us some canned beef," and I'm like, "But why?" Like, ugh. Just too gross. I don't eat much meat anyway, and then for it to be in a can, it's just an extra layer of ugh.
You should be stocking up on it. You should be prepping.
Dude, I have a lot of stuff. We are okay for a while, but
the only thing I've stocked up on is Huel. Do you have Huel over there? I know you'll have a version of it, but it's like protein drinks.
Oh yeah,
I've just got a lot of the powdering, just in case there's a war.
Gotta have something, I guess, right?
You never know.
Milk protein, still protein.
Yep.
Oh, some of these comments I'm seeing are funny because I don't think some of you will understand what they are. But do you know who Chaz and Dave is?
No.
When you get a chance, do a search for Chaz and Dave. They're a group that used to sing songs, and they are Cockneys, so they sing songs in Cockney, and it's quite funny.
Yeah, that would be.
Great. I feel somewhat confused by all of this. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, what is it? We're a common people divided by the same language. That's what they say.
Yeah, some of the stuff you guys are creeping me out. I won't lie. I can't believe you don't have the Cheese Whiz. I'm still stuck over there.
Unless we do, and I've just never seen it. I'll have a look. We do have an American aisle in the supermarket.
If it's not in there, I'd be shocked.
What the hell is in the American aisle, Neil?
Like the foreign food section.
Right, but I just find it hilarious that it's American. So I want you to go and video what they consider what they deem to put in the American.
A lot
food
of it
aisle.
Is what you would call candy and chocolate. So Hershey's.
Okay.
I bet there's pancake mix in there.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. A lot of canned drinks. There's canned drinks in there, which I don't know what they're called now. Something, some like ball things, malt balls or something. I don't know what you call them. Yep. Are they called malt balls?
Malted milk balls.
Yeah, they were quite nice. I tried them and I did quite like them.
Those are good.
I think they sell Twinkies now. I could have saved myself a fortune not going to America, couldn't I? Just had a Twinkie on the supermarket.
Ho-hos, little oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah,
cosmic brownies. They sit like a lump in your stomach. They're amazing.
What ones?
Cosmic brownies.
Oh, so I used to draw blood for the Red Cross. And when I started, they weren't as cheap as they are now. And all of their snacks were Little Debbie. God, I gained so much weight because we would just raid the canteen. It was for donors, but man, I would just raid the canteen and I would eat so many cosmic brownies. It was so bad.
I tried something. I've drawn a picture of it because I can't describe it, but it kind of looked like that, and it was chocolate.
Did it have a little swirl on top?
It might have done. I think it had peanut in it. It was.
It's a Reese's cup.
Yes, Reese's. That's it. I really thought it was disgusting. I'm sorry.
What?
It was horrible. I still ate the whole packet, granted, but it wasn't nice.
I think this is what you were threatening to send us, right? Her friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some yeast spread. So that's what, Marmite or.
Marmite or Vegemite, but Vegemite is Australian, to be fair.
Yep.
Marmite is our version. Yeah.
Gross.
And Bovril is the one that's made from beef. And
A beef spread?
yeah, like a
So you're mocking
concentrated.
our canned cheese, but you have a beef spread.
We do. We have a few beef spreads, actually.
It's a concentrated beef spread. It's even better.
You can put a teaspoon in hot water and you have like a beefy drink.
Well, we
It's
have stuff
horrible.
like that too. It's not a spread though. It's made to make like instant broth.
But is it? But with this one, you can spread it as well. So you put it.
I
on
mean, you
toast.
could like that better than beef broth mix. You could probably spread that. Don't
Yeah.
know that
You put it in your
recommend it,
cooking as well, or you can
but
do.
you
You know,
could.
like I don't know what you call it. Oh, Eccles cake. Someone's saying to send you some Eccles cakes.
I don't know
think
what that is.
you'd be really disappointed. Eccles cakes are things that cooks and bakers used to make at the end of the day when they had a bit of pastry left over and some sultanas or raisins, and they just folded it in and made these things that they're all right. Milton.
Beef tea.
Yeah, beef tea. That's what I was talking about when you put the Bovril in hot water.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, this is a knitting podcast, everybody.
Hi.
I don't think we've mentioned it yet.
This does not have to be the name podcast. So that's the nice thing about Tuesdays. We can talk about whatever we feel like.
I don't knit, so I managed to steer it towards food. So
How did we?
This was sorry. Go on.
I just want to know how did we get on that? Because I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, Anne talked about the cheese in a can, didn't she? And then I just couldn't believe it.
we were talking about
okay.
we were talking about Philadelphia, and then we talked about Philly
Oh,
cheesesteaks, and then cheese
gotcha.
whiz, and
Okay. And then it
funnily
just
enough,
spiraled from there.
We have a cheese spread called Philadelphia, which is
But
like
it's like
white.
cream cheese.
Cream cheese. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
completely white. Oh, do you have the same one?
Yeah.
yeah.
Do
It's
we
the original
import
cream
it
cheese.
from you?
Yes.
We probably
I would
do.
assume so.
It's delicious.
What do you boil your water in to make coffee? I think we've had this conversation before, but I still can't get my head around this.
We normally have a coffee maker.
Yeah. We
So
don't boil our water.
You don't put a kettle on.
No.
No.
So how do you
Americans-
boil water?
Okay, so I have this giant box thing that sits on the counter, and actually mine's really fancy because what it does is it heats up the water and it grinds the coffee or grinds the coffee beans at the same time. So it's like if you go to a coffee restaurant and you get that cappuccino, it does that.
But what if you wanted a cup of tea?
Well, for that I have a water heater that sits on my counter.
Is that what we would call a kettle?
Kinda. Mine's
So-
actually, but I'm different. I prefer
At my
my
house,
water boiled.
we put a measuring cup of water in the microwave, in the microwave, and then we pour it into our cup, and then we put our tea bag in. So there's no
Wow.
kettle. We microwave our water.
I'm not coming to stay with you. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't invite you, so that's fine.
Thank God for that.
I have a kettle, though. I do admire the electric kettles. I might have to get one.
You
No,
know,
I have
Neil,
a-
if you were coming to stay with me, I would splurge on a kettle for you. Just saying.
And there'd
I
be
am a
whole
good
cupboard
hostess,
full
right,
of
Anne?
cheesy can things.
I tried
have
to
a-
be a good hostess for Anne. It didn't work, but I tried.
I-
Cancer water. Thanks, Murderneth. Thank you. my
Nice,
favorite.
nice.
Yeah,
I got a
microwave
Japanese hot water
water.
heater
Wow.
thing to dispense my water for my tea. So I have water that sits on my counter at the constant 208 degrees.
So
That's
you
kinda
can
nice.
buy kettles in America then?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
It's just people who just don't seem to have them.
Why would we? We all drink coffee.
Well, we drink coffee too, but we
But what kind of coffee do you have? Do you have that crappy instant stuff? Or
mostly.
do you
I
like
do
use a
have.
French press?
I have a French press, and I have one of those Italian ones that you actually put on your
I'd
cooker.
like one
You
of
know which
those
ones I mean?
personally.
Yeah.
But
But most day to day, I just have instant. Neil, I use a tea kettle.
not
Thank
all
you,
of them are
Melanie.
barbaric like me.
I'm going to
Thanks a
come
lot,
and stay
Melanie.
with you, Melanie, if that's okay. Not with these barbarians.
Whatever, people. No,
I
I
have to
think
say,
you can go
Americans
stay
make
with
the best
horror.
coffee,
She's got all kinds of fancy coffee, water, procuring items at her house.
Yes, this water heating box sounds magic.
Oh no, it's great. I love it. It's one of the best things I've ever found. I bought one randomly off of Amazon because it was on sale. And yeah, it just keeps, you can boil the water and it holds it at whatever temperature you want. So if you're having herbed tea, you can change the temperature of it. If you're having like a whatever tea, you can just put it at whatever proper temperature for the tea to steep. And it's great.
Nice.
Sounds very
interesting.
posh.
So kind of speaking of, posh things and new tools, I've been keeping up with Anna Knitter's Vlogmas, and she's so lovely. So she's just sitting there and she's talking here. We're going to a German market. I'm like, ooh, accordion. And, that they have their bratwurst and everything, and it's all lovely. And then she's like, okay, so I'm making muffins. And I'm looking at her mixer and I'm like, what sort of witchcraft is this? That it's a mixer, but the turning element is at the bottom. So I comment on it. I'm like, wow, how cool. And she picks the entire thing up to, pour out her muffins. And she's like, yeah, it does everything. It like steams and cooks and spins and grinds. And I'm like, what?
Was that today's one, or is this a couple of days ago?
It was on the 4th, I think.
I've missed that one because I've been watching them. Because one of the things I couldn't get over is just how perfect everything looks in Germany at the moment, with the snow and how it's just perfectly Christmas,
Oh, but
I'm sorry. I'm barbaric, but instant coffee. You're
better than
that's something that nobody's going to get behind.
Well, it's even more barbaric than you think, because normally I buy a brand called Nescafe. So if I say it 3 times, they might send it to me for free. Nescafe, Nescafe, Nescafe. But when they delivered, they didn't have any in because I get my shopping delivered normally. So they sent me the store's own brand. So at the moment, I'm having to drink own brand instant coffee, and it's not nice. It's got a funny taste, like a weird aftertaste.
Yeah,
because it's instant coffee.
I put instant coffee. That's like on desperation level. It's like bad gas station coffee that you only drink because it's like 5:30 in the morning and you're going somewhere and there's a little like motor fuel in there, but you get that sharp when you like, I'm going on a road trip. I'm going to stay awake.
But how many of those coffees can you drink in one day? Proper ground coffee. How many could you drink? If I had more than one.
If I'm at home, I can drink as many as I want.
I drink at least a pot a day, Neil.
Holy wow. And you're not bouncing off the ceilings.
It's the only reason I can function to any extent.
Wow. Well, I can't sleep at the best of times, but if I had more than one of them a day, I would never sleep, ever. Whereas instant coffee, I could drink it 5 minutes before bed and it wouldn't affect me.
It's because it's not real coffee.
Correct.
God.
Instant coffee has one use, and that's for making espresso frosting.
True story. Selfish
so this
Mary
is
says they can drink all of it. That's where we are.
So basically, I'm having coffee in a can, aren't I? Like your cheese in a can. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So touche.
I don't even like coffee, and I know Nescafe isn't good coffee. Oh, you're getting burned. And Therese, back to what Anne was saying. Apparently, Therese Googled it too because apparently that machine was that cool. I missed it. I don't know.
The new ones are like $1,400.
Wow.
What kind of machine is it?
Yeah, there's like a screen on it, but they're like, you can do like all your cooking in here. You can steam stuff, and
Did you notice she's got like a tiny printer as well? Like literally the size of this. This is like a case for me.
No, exactly. And I commented too, because it's like I feel like a little kid going to, their friend's house, like, oh, you have cool toys. Can I look at your toys? And, you got like this tiny printer that you use for journaling. That's so your mixer. I mean, next time.
She uses it for journaling?
Yeah. And also to print her labels for her shop.
Who has time to journal? I can't even remember to write down everything I'm supposed to do every day. She's got a printer specifically for journaling.
I thought, I'm going to be good. I'm going to do one of these Bujo things, whatever they call it, bullet journals. And I did one day. And it just sat there and sat there. And that would have been almost a year ago. I just can't. Yeah. I think you have to be a certain type of person. You have to be a lister.
Not that person.
See,
Although I'm going to have to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start writing it down. Sorry,
I've got
That's okay. I'm one of those Like I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to journal this year. I do not journal this year. The best that I have a notebook. This is my notebook. This lives in my knitting bag. Other people have fancy knitting bags and they have like their little projects and everything. I have one bag. It has all my crap in it and my big notebook. So I can like quick scramble down, you know, if I see something on Tucker Carlson we should talk about. And I'll be like,
Can I make an observation? I bet you any money. Actually, I won't bet you any money because I don't know. I'll take that back just in case I'm wrong. I bet you don't write neatly on the lines. I bet you everything's written all over the place.
She writes on the lines, I think.
I think so too.
She's looking for the best page now.
this was last week's. I have to.
See, there's a bit at the top. It's not on the line.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, just that little itty bitty bit.
I want to find mine though because let's see.
This page over here. Here, I'll have to cover that because I was doing my own stuff. But yes, they're on the lines. I have little squares.
But you do little bits at the top diagonally.
Yeah.
You can see I'm grasping here.
He really is. He's reaching hard. Surprised he doesn't pull something.
On the lines.
I had a little notebook I bought to write things on. Now I can't find it.
I was looking. I throw my notes out after I do them. I don't keep them around like Anne does.
Oh, see, I started that way, and I realized that I was forgetting people's names, so I had to flip back.
But see, like this is when I was writing a pattern.
That's how I do it.
See, this is how I am. Like
all over the place.
And like it's always like these little bits of Oh,
that's what I was imagining Anne's would be like.
No, Anne is more organized than I am for sure.
Yeah,
she really is.
Well, at least you have books. I write everything on it on empty envelopes that get thrown away afterwards. So
like I said,
you can't find it.
Yeah, the amount of patterns I've written on things like this and then lost.
Back reference my stuff, so I'm like, well, we've gotta keep it all together. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I think someone said I was wrong. Yes, I was wrong. I accept it. I was wrong.
I think that's twice today he's admitted he's wrong.
Wow. How many times are we going to get that to happen?
Well, that's it now. That's the end. That's it.
We've hit the quota?
Yeah. 2 in a year. That's enough.
And he saved them all the way to the end just for you.
It's like holidays from work, isn't it? When you haven't taken them throughout the year, you've got to squeeze them all in.
They don't roll over to next year, so you got to use them.
Iris says she's so hungry now from our. I don't know. That conversation didn't make me feel particularly hungry. I won't lie.
I don't know.
I just ate breakfast, so I'm good.
Third cheese cracker.
What time is it there?
Here?
Yeah.
It was about 11 when I ate I wake up late.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I would too if I didn't have people that were like, you know, somebody woke me up at 4:00 this morning saying I'm hungry. I had to help somebody get goldfish at 4:00 in the morning. So
yeah, if I'd woke my parents up at 4:00 in the morning for goldfish, they'd have beat me.
Who've learned that lesson.
You know what though? They only do that when they're like growing. Like when they've eaten all day and then, oh hey, I can't even get through the night of sleeping because my body is like exploding. Mm-hmm. So I try not to be mean.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being a loving parent.
Yeah, I try. Some days. No, every day. Knitting struggle session. Make Anne. Oh, somebody wants you to make us Philly cheesesteaks now, Anne. Can you get on that, please?
I'll get right on it. I'll get the group started.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway.
So
hey, can I talk? Oh, sorry. No, go.
I was just going to ask what everyone was working on because I started that earlier and then I didn't. So
I was just going to actually start bragging about the fact that I can anybody tell what this is? Can anybody tell?
A tube.
A sock.
It's a sock. I don't make socks. I hate socks. It's a yoga sock though, so I am cheating. It's not going to have any heels or toes. It's going to be a tube that goes on the feet. But hey,
I was right. It's a tube.
Correct. But it is a sock. No, but the thing is that I don't believe in sock knitting. because I wear out all my socks. And so why am I going to spend a bajillion dollars on yarn and all my time to wear a big hole in it in 30 seconds?
What kind of socks do you wear now, though?
What kind of socks do I wear?
From,
like regular
from the
socks.
store, from the shop?
Yeah, like Hanes.
And-
I wear like big old.
So are they
regular-
nylon or are they wool or?
Cotton.
Are they cotton? I think
Okay,
so.
I challenge you. if you knit Regia or opal yarn socks, you won't get holes in them. Definitely Regia.
I'll try. My mom has made me lots of socks and I would wear them and then I would get big holes in them and then I would feel sad because my mom made me socks and then I wrecked them.
Well, get Regia because Regia offer a 10-year guarantee. And if you get a hole in your Regia sock, they will replace it or give you your money back.
Wow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And can we get that brand here?
I think so, yeah. I think.
I've never heard of it. Do you know about it, Anne?
Oh, have you not? You might call it Regia.
Might spell it.
It's German.
Heard it from like Bakery Bears, who are also British podcasts. So I don't know.
I'll see if I can send you some. DM me your details and I'll send you some. And you can try it.
Fine. Fine.
Like, I don't think so.
But it's fingering weight. Are you knitting fingering weight or are you doing it in
Worsted on size 7 needles?
But you can hold them together. You know, you could do 2 fingering together.
But this is Tina's yarn. This is Fame Horror on Tina's.
Oh wow, it comes out so different, doesn't it?
I think part of it is my color and the.
Oh, that's good. I like the way it's pooling. I like that.
Yeah, I usually despise pooling, but I'm okay with this so far.
I'll show you mine actually. I'm working on something and it's pooling, and I want your opinion on it. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Apparently, sometimes Michael's has Regia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to look.
While he's doing that, I'm going to, selfishly take the spotlight. Because Amy of Two Sisters and Some Yarn, her sister was giving away some yarn and said, anyone want any, just pay shipping. So I got this weird like Tweety yarn.
Interesting.
Cool.
It's an acrylic, but it's behaving like cotton. Like it has that sort of pearlized thing on it. So yeah, I have enough to make a sweater, but I'm not sure what sweater. So if anyone has some brilliant ideas, like go ahead and shoot them out. As the first thing I said is knitted sweatpants, and then that was shot down quickly. So.
Well, and Anne, you're like a giraffe. I mean, do you really want to make sweatpants?
Well, no.
She's got 4 legs.
No, she's just really tall. Like she doesn't. Man,
I said it was an interesting idea, not a good one.
A Weasley sweater, someone said. Tabitha said.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I was going to say. And apparently that yarn you're talking about can sometimes be gotten at Michael's, which is one of our craft stores. So I'll check. If I can't get a hold of it, I'll let you know. Okay, Neil?
Okay, this is Chicken Lady in I'm Hotter Than You.
Oh.
So I'm just doing a cowl test thing that I'm doing. And it's what I really... Sorry, I'm useless with camera work. I love the way it's working here. But there's these... I still can't do it.
This way.
So,
yeah,
so it's all back to front, isn't it? It's these little bits here I'm not sure of. I think they're okay.
They look nice.
Yeah, I think it's okay looking at it from a distance, actually, because when you're on top of it, you get more critical, don't you?
Everything's different.
But yeah, I absolutely love the colour. And in it, there's... Oh, that's showing. There's tiny bits of sort of lemon and touches of pink. And it's not too much that, you can barely see the pink, really. Yeah, that's Chicken Lady.
Very nice.
I can't remember what the base is, so I'll have to ignore that bit.
Unfortunately,
people are saying buy nylon thread. I'm sorry?
Oh, I said, unfortunately, I left all my crocheting downstairs.
Oh, you didn't know that we had show and tell time?
No.
Well, I did know and I forgot, so.
Right. Just describe it to me.
I'm actually, for Christmas, I'm making everybody some pot holders and kitchen towel things,
Nice.
kitchen towel dresses. So I've got a red and green variation with some like sepia brown in it that I'm gonna.
Oh, I'll tell you what else
through.
I can show you. Something that from World War II.
Ooh.
Cool.
It's something that I've written. The new issue of Blocked will be out this weekend, by the way. So it's finished and it's just being checked over. So I think it'll be out on Friday. And it's a pattern that I've done for the magazine. And it's based on something that was happening in the war in Denmark. And as far as I could tell, nobody else seems to have talked about this in the English-speaking world, and it's about what some of the young people used to wear to show resistance against the German occupying forces. So give me a second, and I'll just come out of here a second.
Ellie Mae said Anna Knitter started her down a deep dark path of opal sock yarn, and that she might need to join Opal Anonymous. Stay off of eBay. I haven't checked, I haven't checked eBay for yarn.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it or not.
I've done it before. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's so many places to get yarn. It's like eBay's like the last place I thought of. There's like 2 local places here, at least 5 different people who sell it from their homes.
We haven't talked about Lion Brand. I don't know if you heard about the Lion Brand nonsense.
Vaguely.
But now I'm like thinking about buying stuff secondhand, because there's some kinds of yarn that I use, but I'm not going to pay them for it. So I might just start buying it from other people when they decide to get rid of it.
Yeah, just kind of briefly, that Lion Brand has announced they're partnering with Lola Bean Yarn, and it's Adela who runs that, and she is Lion Brand also has this Hat Not Hate anti-bullying campaign, and she is one of the worst people when
one
it
of
comes
the worst internet bullies,
right?
So.
Destroying other people's business and quote calling them out for being racist when she's anyways, that she just harasses people sometimes.
Yeah. So I've been encouraging people to contact Lion Brand if you don't like bullies, because I was going to almost mention it when we were doing our football talk there, our little soccer whatever, because after they got all the emails from us, they put out a thing on their Instagram that was like, America the Beautiful, Afghan pattern, like they were pandering to the people that were pissed off about the Lola Bean thing. So if you're not a fan of it, message me, Florable Knitter on Instagram. I have information. I've got the goods. I'll put the stuff in the notes of this too. I'll put the email addresses, because honestly, I've gotten a lot of DMs, and I know I've missed people. So yeah, if you want to tell them that you're not cool with internet bullying, that's
what I find amazing is that they've seen the evidence. We've shared the evidence, and I don't even just mean Lion Brand. I'm talking about her supporters, and they just ignore it. It's like the stuff with Joe Biden and the Democrats. It's like they don't see anything they do wrong. But if any of us did any of that, and the funny thing is, like Bitchy Knitter, who's now blocked me in every way she can. So I can't even see her on Twitter because she's got a private Twitter account now. Although I can still see it.
Sneaky. But everybody blocking everybody. It's like everybody alt accounts. Come on, guys. Why don't we just
let's just unblock everybody and just call it a day, because everybody has a fake account at this point.
I did invite her to do that, but she won't. But anyway, yeah, she said that I was saying really nasty things about a black maker. And it's like, no, I was just sharing the videos of what she said herself. I don't even think I put a comment on most of them. But it's
you were just highlighting like things she said in the video.
Like a little header, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and apparently I thought this was quite cool. She says that how did she phrase it now? I've forgotten exactly, but I am the person that worries her the most on the internet. She's basically she's scared of me, or he is scared of me, because I don't think it's a woman. But there you go. And I thought, what? The nastiest troll in the knitting world thinks I'm nastier than she is. It's like,
Neil, you're a threat to them because you can see through the nonsense they're trying to peddle, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, and I suppose they've tried so hard to destroy everything, and I'm still here.
That's what they forget. Once you've been canceled, there's no place else to go. You come hang out here with us now.
My favorite one was still people who thought they needed security at a knitting conference.
Oh, yes.
Because they talked about their, BIPOC only event.
Yeah, because I can just teleport instantly from the UK to San Francisco or wherever it was.
Like you want,
dude. If you're teleporting, why aren't you coming to visit? I mean, come on.
I will be on Christmas Eve. Don't forget, I'm going to be going around everywhere on Christmas Eve.
True.
But the magic only works one night a year, so I will leave a little surprise present in your house. So that sounded really
sounds
bad.
Ominous, dude.
I'm just reminded of every time the puppies leave me a surprise present.
Like, it'll be in your shoes.
It'll be a bit of whipped whipped cheese somewhere that you won't expect it.
Yeah, I don't know. This Santa thing's getting out of hand, I think.
Well, this is one of the patterns that I've made.
Oh,
nice.
Cute.
So
now wear it.
I couldn't find a pom-pom, so I used a dryer ball.
Well, you couldn't make a pom-pom.
Well, I could have, but I just couldn't be bothered. And it's wool. It is wool, but it works. And it's like, so this is my crocheted Santa hat. I'll just show you this.
Aw.
Wow, you look fantastic. Now he's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's really warm. So there we go.
That's crochet?
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah, and held double. So it was DK held double because I wanted it to be quick, because I only thought about it this week. So I've put the pattern in the magazine. So that's one thing. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you is the war thing. So I'll quickly show you. There's 3, but they're all variations on the theme. So this is the original. So this is based on their design, and it's just a skull cap. So it doesn't go over your ears. So
Right.
It doesn't suit me at all.
No, that's not a good look.
I don't know what I look like that. It's like, but basically what it was in the war, they had these crocheted up, so they were the British RAF roundel, they're called, off the Spitfires, because they used to fly over Denmark and bomb Denmark, and but the people of Denmark were happy about it because it was helping, get the Germans out. So this was the original pattern. And the story behind it is that whenever they were caught, they were imprisoned, they were prosecuted by the Germans and fined. I don't know how much. That's something I didn't find out. I couldn't find out. And if they persisted, then obviously bad things happened to them. But where it was kind of quite sweet in a weird way is that a lot of the children were wearing them, and the German soldiers often just sort of turned a blind eye. And you kind of think, yeah, they weren't all horrible people, it's there's some nice Germans. So I turned it into a beanie. So this is the beanie version. Again, this doesn't really suit me. None of these suit me, by the way, but
the Santa hat does.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And then the final one is this is one that I designed sort of based on hats that I'd seen in that era. So basically it's a beret hat, but I think it kind of works with that roundel thing.
Yeah.
So this looks really stupid on me, but I imagine it'd look good on somebody. So I look like some kind of artist, don't I?
I think it looks good.
That's not terrible. It's not as bad as that first one that you put on. That was really not suited to you. Cezanne wants to know if you're going to be giving presents if you've been naughty since you're evil Santa.
Well, funnily enough,
oh geez,
Cezanne, I'm not going to get a name right this time. There is a present on its way to you.
Ooh.
So Cezanne does some work for me for the magazine. So I've sent a couple of presents out for people.
Aww. That's nice.
But But I am evil, I am horrible, and I am nasty. So don't let any of the nice things tarnish my good name.
Only nice thing in order to trick us gullible Americans with your British accent and your charming manner.
Wasn't that what somebody said for real?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, and that I cultivated the evil Santa. No, was it evil Santa that time? Oh no, that was a different one. But that I cultivated the Santa look because that's what Americans would fall for, basically, to put it in, which.
So are we just really stupid, apparently, according to that?
Well, yeah, apparently so.
Oh,
Krampus, yes.
I was going to hit this one. Is there a Krampus version of Neil?
Yeah,
He is
bitchy
the
knitter.
Krampus version.
Oh, man. Every year my husband tries to make me watch Krampus, and I don't want to. I don't know what the whole deal is with that. They've made some really scary movies with it.
Well,
Really
you don't
not
have
that
to,
scary.
do you?
That would be right up your alley, Miss Horror Amorata.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, in terms of a scary movie, it's really not that scary. It's more of a story of a kid who makes poor decisions and gets to suffer for eternity for it.
Yeah. So that's nice. I prefer to watch Hallmark movies. That tells you where I stand on these things. And he'll be like, "Oh, watch this, I don't know, movie with me." I can't remember which one it was that he was trying to make me watch. And like every time I went into the living room, he would turn it on and I would just leave. Like he did it for like a week. Like he was not getting the memo that I was not interested. So but yes, we are so dumb that if you have facial hair and a red shirt, we obviously think that you're nice, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the plan.
It's the thing that they think I cultivated the look. You know what I mean? Like that I deliberately grew a beard that just happened to be white. It's
Obviously,
like,
you bleach it every day to keep it so.
well,
it's
there's a
nice
bit
and
of
smooth.
you can see the roots here. You can see
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. They
So-
shouldn't be doing any of this. They say you're a cis white man, but really, you're a black female.
Mhm.
And you
Exactly.
shouldn't be getting any of this.
Yeah, I mean, how dare they misgender Santa? Oh, speaking of, I need to ask you. So, Deplorable, we'll start with you. Where are you from?
What do you mean?
Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
No, where are you really from? Where are your people from?
Oh, so actually, we were talking about this last night. My uncle came over for dinner, and my great grandpa came over before World War I from Italy.
Ah,
So they weren't even here during the whole, slavery thing. Just FYI, tell the haters. And then my other family came from Nova Scotia. I don't know anything about that though.
so really, you should be in some kind of traditional Italian dress then. So that's what you should be, whatever that might be. So
I
horror.
think I am.
Oh, you're already in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
she
I'm
looks
pretty
right to
good.
me.
So horror. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from a few different places. My great, is there one more in there? Great grandmother and grandfather came over from Czechoslovakia in the, you too?
Yeah. You sounded like a little dog squeaky toy. I don't know what happened. You're like, what?
But yeah, that was the late 1800s, like 1890, I think. My great grandfather came over, and they stopped in Kansas and then came out here to Montana to homestead. And then all the rest of my family is actually from England mostly, where they came over. They're funny because they came over in the 1600s and then went back and then came back again.
Well, indecisive.
Couldn't make their mind up. I don't know.
No, apparently they didn't know where they wanted to be. But then most of the rest of them lived in the South forever.
Cool.
Yeah, and for the record,
Oh,
for those
sorry.
people who want to call me a nasty person, yeah, there is actually a slave owned, documented by my family, like 100+ years back.
Wow.
So
Then I have
you need to get
How
on the
dare you.
reparations.
No, that's him right there. That's my reparations.
I don't think that counts. Look
Love you, honey.
Holy moly.
And I apologize now if I get you guys in trouble.
You can't say much to get us in trouble. We're already there.
So, Anne, where are you from?
Me. Sorry, I was gonna make a bad joke, but yeah.
I already did it. So
No, because so my last name Pinkova is Czech, so woohoo, we're like related. But it's Czech, and then Germans from where the Ukraine is now, so they like moved there under Catherine the Great, because she had this program going that all of these stupid Russian serfs couldn't do any industry, so they had this like incentive program. So if you were like a tradesman or something, that you could go to, again, what would now be Ukraine, was at the time Russia. But then after a while, they decided that they didn't like us anymore. So bummer. So it was us and the Jews getting booted out of the Ukraine at the same time. So that's when they came to America. And also Irish, which, as we all know, are the blacks of Europe. So
not wrong.
However, see, I'm as far as I know, I'm 100% British Isles. As far as I've gone back, so a bit of Irish, but mostly English. But the Irish, I don't know whether you know about this. Before England, so Ireland was civilized before England was. Not many people know that. And the Irish used to come over to England, which wasn't called England then, to be fair, and Ireland probably wasn't called Ireland then. We're talking a long time ago, and used to take the English as slaves. So people don't like to talk about that. So that's why they deserved it. No, they don't. So how offended were you by that question? I'm assuming you're like fuming now, all three of you.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
I'm never going to speak to you again.
Yeah,
But
right.
I think that I would be more upset if I were wearing my traditional Italian dress, and then you asked me why I was dressed that way. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, when people ask me where I'm from when I wear this, it's like I don't want to have to say Lapland, because I don't want them to know that I'm from Lapland. I want people to think that I'm British,
Neil, this may be something you don't know, but in America, we don't say that Santa comes from Lapland.
What? Where does he come from?
I don't even know what Lapland is. Was I supposed to?
Say he lives in the North Pole.
Yeah.
That's 3 houses I don't have to go to this year. You're off the list.
I don't understand.
Oh no, he's supposed to be from Lapland. That's what we say in Europe.
What's Lapland?
It's just an area of. I'm showing me ignorance now. I think it's in Norway or Finland. I think
it's Finland.
Yeah, it's just like very It's in the North Pole area.
It's basically North Pole, but with a different name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Adam
to confuse
said,
everybody.
I'm wearing a yarmulke. Forgive me, Moses.
Why would Santa come from Lapland? Because
it's really far north.
Yeah,
1p.
I guess
it's
like
Lapland
the
with
North
1p.
Pole.
Yeah, the Arctic. Yeah.
Oh, just one.
Yeah, just 1p. Yeah.
I mean, if you've never seen Santa Claus the movie, that one covers a lot of the more traditional Santa Claus lore from Europe. I mean, they even call the elves Vindicum instead of elves, and it's a really good movie.
Which one is this?
Santa Claus the movie from the 1980s.
Oh, okay. I don't know it.
Yeah, it's quite the. I mean, the thing about Santa is he was supposed to wear green, wasn't he? The whole red and white thing, isn't that? I don't know that it's true. It was a myth, wasn't it? That it's Coca-Cola, or was that actually true? Changed it to red and white.
I don't really remember when they changed it, but it really depends on the area he was from too, because the tale varies widely depending on where you were, and a lot of it changed, especially when you bring in the Christians and they move things and.
Those bloody Christians.
They always change the story. Damn them.
Well, Saint Nicholas being together with other things. Today is Saint Nicholas's day.
Oh, is it Saint Nickname Day?
Yeah.
Well,
so get out there, give children's presents, punch heretics, do your thing, people. Sorry, sorry, that was the other thing he was famous for, that there was a convention and someone denied the deity of Christ. So he, punched him. He apologized the next day, but sometimes he got it.
Interesting. Coke did give him the red and white in the U.S.
Ah.
I didn't know that. Makes sense, though. It's amazing what a hold they had on our stuff.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if you've seen like Victorian Christmas cards, because they're absolutely amazing, but they're Christmas cards before like there is a set Christmas, like I forget how it's pronounced, like there's no like red and white or red and white and green you associate for Christmas. But before you had the color association and the sort of thing association, like they be putting any old thing on a card.
Oh, yeah.
There's like frogs, sword fighting, there's fools, there's just like ridiculous stuff. Because if I was to send you a Christmas card, you would expect like snow, robins, Santa Claus, elves, the baby Jesus, like normal Christmassy things. And they're like, yeah, so we're just going to write this weird little poem and someone's going to die. like these greetings. You're like, what is this?
Oh, here's another difference between us and America. Boxing Day.
Yeah, that's not a thing here.
So you only get one day off at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day you're back in work.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. In theory.
Depending on where you work, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel so sorry for you.
I always remember, because on Boxing Day, growing up, that we listened to Rush Limbaugh all the way growing up, and it was always Mark Stein on Boxing Day. He'd be like, "Yep, I'm working. The Americans are back to work. Brits will still be drunk for 2 weeks. It's a good tradition."
Well, I suppose you guys have the Thanksgiving thing, don't you? Because
Mm-hmm.
our thing was always Boxing Day sales. So your Black Friday sales would be our version of that, although we are stealing Black Friday from you. Boxing Day, you always have 2 days off together, and it's great when Christmas is around a weekend because you end up with 4 days off. Because if one of the bank holidays ends up on a weekend day, they give us an extra one.
Yeah.
In Scotland, they get 2 days off at New Year as well, but we don't.
Yeah, we just get New Year's Day off.
Yes, that's same as
which is fine, because that's really what you need to recover.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't drink anymore, but before we had kids, I remember spending all of New Year's Day like laying on the floor in front of the TV with my husband eating McDonald's. So I miss those days sometimes. Not much, but once in a while I'm like, yeah. But yeah, you don't need a second day. That's the day. That's the recovery day. Harvest Festival is the English Christian. You have a harvest festival?
I think religious. I think we did that when I was at school, but I don't remember us doing it in the family, if you know what I mean. I think it depends on individual families. I think all I remember was we had to take tins of food or something into school that I don't know where that went. I think it was given to somebody. I don't know. We never found out.
It went to the teachers.
Probably, yeah.
But
I guess I should say, announce officially that in times past on our channel, we've done like a Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Like she's doing eye contact thing. Sorry.
I didn't know what you were doing. I'm with you now.
Okay. we together on this? Okay. No, that before we've done like Christmas gift exchange, and we're not doing it this year just because once we came to getting it together, it was too late. So this isn't us saying screw you people. This is us saying we love you, but this year
That's 2 years I've missed out on the Christmas gifts.
Yeah, sorry, Neil. Well, I mean, look at it. It's what is today? The 6th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no chance that we would get a present to you.
I think it's our anniversary, very soon. Well, when I say our anniversary, the anniversary of me first appearing on your show and becoming a thing.
It's our paper anniversary, Neil.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, guys.
But anyways, yes, the gift exchange is always fun. We're going to try to do something else New Year's-ish, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
But
informed.
Anne like went and did this job thing, and so now our New Year's Eve plans are like not what they were, and so whatever.
Woohoo.
Whatever.
Try and do the good thing and get employed.
I know, right? Like, what the heck, man?
I mean, how's she
Do
going to buy
you-
the yarn?
Do you guys
True.
not have Christmas crackers then,
No.
What are Christmas crackers?
where you pull them?
Don't you ever watch Harry Potter? They do them and they're the little wrap things. You pull them
No.
and prices come out.
I was never a Harry Potter fan.
Ah, I thought that
That's
was like a
sad.
generic thing. I thought everyone did it.
Oh
But
no.
We've done them, but it's because my family are nerds, and
Her family is extra, let me tell you.
but also that we had to drive to World Market to get them. You don't like get them in regular stores. You might now, like there's a couple of them, but they're not a thing. They're like
Nothing.
Well, it's like everyone you have usually has a paper hat in a crown shape that you have to then wear for the rest of the day. Most of the dads and blokes are like, oh, here we go. There's a really bad joke that is like the worst joke ever. Why they do it, I don't know.
This
And
is sounding
then-
like something dads would love.
Well, yeah, they are dad jokes. That's probably where they get the dad jokes from. And then usually some really crappy plastic gift that is crappy. But you can buy really expensive ones that have really nice gifts in there. And very rich people probably put, gold things in there or whatever,
We've gotten a variety. Okay, mostly the ones with like the really crappy gift, like it's ring toss, but it's this big. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like the
Oh,
tiny
one dice or a die. Is it a die or a dice? What do you call
A
one
die.
on its own? A
It's
die.
a die.
It's like, what are you
But-
going to do with that?
But we got a couple, and I think we were trying to get some, but they were like the last, so we got some of the more expensive ones and wasn't paying attention. One of them was like a set of whistles, and they were all at different lengths. So, and then you were all supposed to get together and play your whistles, so everyone would play one note, and that was painful. That was worse than a kazoo chorus. So people had fun. That was good. But then the other one was like the quote adult gifts, where you got like nail clippers and stuff. That it's like, you pay extra for this?
when you said adult gifts, that's not where my brain went.
Yeah,
I was
same
actually
here.
interested for a second. Then you said nail clippers, and I'm like,
Like, no, it was
Well,
just
I was thinking the crackers are big, but they're not that big. I was thinking what would actually fit in there,
no.
a little bottle of flavored lube,
You're like, I'm at dinner and I have nail clippers now. Ew.
Oh, jeez.
I think I just about killed people.
You did what?
So I think I just about killed somebody.
Never.
Happens every episode, doesn't it?
It's not a good show until I die, so it's fine. But holy
Anyway,
mackerel, people.
Also, this year is going to be extra fun because I'm sure I said this last year. I am on a quest. I will make a Christmas pudding and it will be. But I made a Christmas pudding last year and we did the whole thing where you boil it up and then, you have to wait for like a month because you do it at the end of November where you stir up Sunday. Yeah. And then I forgot about it. So we have last year's pudding. It should be okay. It doesn't smell bad. There's alcohol in it, so it should preserve it. But if this ends up being my only successful Christmas pudding, and I've made like 2 or 3 and they have not been good. But like I said, I am bound and determined I will make this. And if this happens to be the success, I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know what I'll do.
Did you put a coin in there?
So
No.
guys, if in the new
No.
year
You have to put a coin in.
I'm on my own, it's because Anne poisoned herself and her family with her year-old Christmas pudding.
Gross food and gross British things. It's kind of like when you hang up the whole pheasant in the pantry and you're like, it's not good until it starts the maggots coming out. And
Oh.
What?
I just can't believe you don't put a coin in there. That's part of the thing. You have to have a coin in there, and one person breaks a tooth, and they're the lucky one.
A clearance holiday exchange. Do it in January and buy gifts on clearance.
Ah, yeah, I like that
We
idea.
have kind of played that around a little.
But we have just learned what's wrong with the British dental system.
Yes.
True.
Oh, I could talk for hours on the British dental system. Don't get me on that.
Neil loves his medical and his dental.
I can tell.
He's very happy about all of it.
Well, it just annoys me when British people just go on about the NHS being the most marvelous thing ever, and it's like, sorry, no, it isn't. It was once. It was. Now it's just been running to the ground.
Was it though?
Well, I mean, I think it was if you compare what British people had the day before the NHS. There was no alternative. There were no hospitals before the NHS, put it that way. And people couldn't afford any treatment. You couldn't even afford to have maternity care. Women had to go to the workhouse to give birth to the babies because that was the only care they would possibly get. So I suppose it was better than what came before it, but it very soon has become a bit of a, what do they call it when you have something around your neck? What's that? Albatross around your neck. That's what it's become. And the dental NHS is even worse. Even worse.
Yeah, I heard in Canada, I mean, they have sort of the same system going with their healthcare service.
Oh, theirs is worse.
Yeah.
They don't even have private healthcare.
Yeah. But there's a lady there, Laura Rosen-Cohen is her name. She's a columnist and she has other stuff too. But her son has special needs. And when they have his dental care, he has to be completely knocked out. That's how he is. And it took years through COVID to get a painful dental thing done for him. And only got it like within the past month. And it was something that happened at the beginning of COVID. So poor kid.
There were so many people here as well during COVID. There was one woman, a friend of my mum's, and she tried to pull her own tooth out because she couldn't get an appointment. Nobody would see her. And she was in agony, but the problem was you have to register with a dentist first before you have a problem. And unfortunately, she'd never registered in that time period where she'd moved house or whatever it was. So she didn't have a dentist, and they won't take you if there's something wrong with you. You have to be well to be able to register with a dentist. The moment you've got toothache, if you aren't registered with a dentist, they will not treat you. You have to go elsewhere. So I know it sounds crazy. That is absolutely the truth.
But how, if something's bothering you, how do you get it fixed if nobody will take you? Like that's,
well,
I don't
you
understand.
don't. I mean, so for example, like the moment you are able to do so, you should register with a dentist when your teeth are great. Then you're okay. And they will treat you for whatever you need, as long as you've had your checkups every 6 months, if they invite you. But if you let that lapse, they take you off the register after so many months, and then you are then without a dentist. And if you then have a cavity or anything wrong, and you know how painful your teeth can be if you've got a problem, they will not treat you, and you have to basically beg and travel around all dentists to try and get work done. Or you have to go to where the dental hospital is, which is literally the last resort. You don't want to be going to the dental hospital, put it that way, because all they're going to do is pull your tooth out. They're not going to treat, they're not going to put a filling or whatever they call it. I don't know what the word is for a filling these days.
It's filling. Well,
is it called a filling?
Crown or something, whatever.
Yeah. But I had to have a crown recently, and it took 6 weeks from the initial problem, which was an old filling that had fallen out, to actually having the crown done. And I was just very lucky that there was no pain involved, but I had a hole in my tooth for 6 weeks. And that's just general. That's how it is.
That's insane.
Yeah,
and
it's
what's
bad.
Worse is dental problems can actually lead to problems in the rest of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So to hear them just,
well, my
screw
mum
it.
almost died about 5 years ago. She almost died because she got sepsis. And what it was from was a gum infection. And the problem was the dentist refused to remove the tooth because it was a tricky tooth. It's one of them with a twisted root or whatever, where they were going to have to drill down to, sorry, people are like thinking,
oh no, I was reading what Katie said.
Yeah.
And she nearly died. She ended up in hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Katie, you know what I'm talking about. So this thing of where if you do not register with with a dentist, you can't get treatment. I hope she'll confirm that. I mean, I think it depends on the dentist as well. Some will do it, but
No, sounds like she's one who'll do it because she's lost money caring for her patients, which,
yeah.
I mean, isn't that the entire point of going into a field like doctors or dentistry is to help people when they're sick?
Well, there seems to be a difference between doctors and dentists in the NHS world. I mean, you could, if you've got the money, you can go to a dentist. Don't go. This is if you want to get treatment if you're poor, for example. But it's expensive. Well, it must be expensive for you guys because I hear things where you want to get dental in your job. What do you call it? Benefits of your job. Whereas that's unheard of here. We don't have that. Well, some probably do, but not many. Yeah. So Katie's put yes because of if someone is high needs, we lose out. Yeah. So they don't get them, the money because they're having to do it at a loss to them.
But isn't the person with a high need the one who needs it the most?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? You would think so. But this is why I have a problem with the NHS at the moment. And when during lockdown, when they had idiots outside clapping for the NHS on a Thursday night,
pots and pans together.
You can imagine what I was doing on a Thursday night, can't you? I wasn't outside with pots and pans, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Wash your hair.
Same for one filling as 10. So is that for NHS treatment or is that that'll be NHS what you can claim back from the NHS? I'm assuming. I don't know how that works exactly, but yeah. So don't come and live in England. I'm really selling this country, aren't I?
It's crazy, and I know some women have it happen. I had it happen where my teeth. I never have had great teeth, but after I had my kids, like I have so many cavities now. They like deplete your bones.
Do you floss?
Yes, but it's something about it happens to some women when they're pregnant that like your enamel wears away and stuff. Like I don't know,
leaches the calcium from your body to.
Yeah. I'm going to be having a broken hip soon. My kids, I gave it all to my kids.
Is this a pro-choice thing now coming up?
No, I would give them all my calcium any day. It's life.
Right. But this is the perfect ad for Ovaltine when we come to is the Christmas season. Drink more Ovaltine.
Speaking of lockdown,
eat some canned cheese because it's a great source of calcium.
Great source of calcium.
It says it right on there.
But I will easy cheese. I will say every time.
Any cheese that doesn't have to be refrigerated is the best. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Shelf-stable cheese is where it's at. It's American. Get some.
Oh, I saw a video the other day about how to wax cheese to preserve it. Have you ever seen that? It was quite cool, actually. It's like, wow, that's a really clever idea. Obviously, it's been going for years, hasn't it? I might have to try it and just see how long it lasts. But apparently, it lasts 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So when you're doing your doomsday prepping,
wax that cheese.
Or get shelf stable, whatever.
Or buy it in a can.
It's going to be my new motto. I'm going to make a hat. It says American is shelf stable cheese.
There's still people talking in the chat about, bad healthcare visits. And as we said a little bit before, that's like, well, British healthcare is the worst, except for Canada. At least you can crap on them a bit.
Now, Canada's actively reaching out to try to kill its people. So.
Oh God, it is, isn't it?
Disturbing?
It's scary.
Story, but the lady who's like, hey, I'd like some assistance with getting a chairlift in my home, and they're like, ever think of dying?
Yeah. Can we interest you in a medical assisted suicide instead of a chairlift?
Like, can I get a chairlift? It's like, how about you die? And you're like, are you a bad YouTube comment? No, I'm your medical professional. How about for that? And it's like, can I get a chair? Drop dead. Oh, wow.
It's No, it's messed up though. I don't get it. And I don't get how the people who think this is a good idea, like that's the part that, okay, so we know that people in charge are kind of shitty, but like all the like lemmings going behind them, that's the part that really gets me more than anything.
Well, I found out today, I sent you the clip of, not the clip, the news article in Oxfordshire, which is an area of England. They're doing a trial 2024, so there's 2 years off yet. And basically, it's very Chinese based, where they're going to divide the city into 6 zones, and you're allocated a zone based on where you live. And initially, so it's going to be for 6 months, this trial. So presumably, this will then be rolled out, nationwide. You're not going to be able to drive outside of your zone more than twice a week, and you're going to have to apply to leave your zone. Now, what all the sort of the apologists for this are saying, and the ones that are all for it, is, but you can still walk or bicycle out of your zone. It's only if you're driving. And it's like, oh, you really think it's going to stop at that? You really think they're going to keep it at cars?
Wait until you're out past curfew.
Yeah.
More to the point, what if your work is like past in the next area?
Well, that would be where you apply, I'm assuming, and you would have to probably get proof of where your work is. And then, because the other thing is they're going to, with their number plate registration recognition, they're going to track everyone as well. And also they've said, and don't think you'll get away with, this is what they said, don't think you'll get away with it if you've got a 2-car household, because the 2 cars will be classed as one. So if you and your husband have a car each, you're only allowed to leave your zone twice between you, not twice each. You see what's wrong with this? So you're even more discriminated against if you've in a multiple home, with more than 1 car.
I mean, there's so much wrong with that. I don't even know where to start.
Well, I was reading it, and at first I was thinking, is this like a Babylon Bee thing or an Onion thing? But it's real. It's going to happen. It was on the council website, the Oxfordshire Council website.
I mean, it's not the same, but I mean, it's the same as us getting, not the same. It's similar to them wanting us all to have electric cars, because I have an electric car. I can go about 50 miles round trip because it only has a 100-mile range on it. So that's part of why they're pushing to have everybody have these things, because they're going to be able to limit the movement of the people. And then they could totally shut off your electricity so you can't charge your car if they don't want you going places and stuff. I mean,
well,
it's
we're
all
already
about
being
the controlling.
told that in February we're going to be having power cuts, and I think they're going to be between 4 and 7 p.m. in certain evenings. So February, which is usually the coldest month for us, and they're going to do it. So it's not going to be the whole country. It's going to be areas are going to be randomly
rolling
selected.
blackouts, more or less.
Yeah, rolling. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word. And I just think, going back to what you were saying, Diplo, I just think this is the practice run for when everyone has electric cars, so that they'll be able to, and they're going to do it all under the guise of, being green and protecting the environment and all that nonsense. But this is what's happening in China now. Is I've got a friend who's Chinese, and she's from Sichuan province, and she's left. Luckily, she married an English guy and was able to get out. But they have to apply to their local government, whoever, the local government, to be able to leave the village, to go to the next village. So whether they get accepted or refused is based on other factors. So it might be that you don't get refused, but you still have to apply.
Right. And they sorry.
Go on, I've done. Go on, sorry.
But they also have the city passes. If you're just a peasant living in the countryside, and they say, okay, so we're building a building in the city, and we want to hire people for construction workers, those people they don't have access to the amenities in the city while they're there. They're treated like foreign citizens because they don't have a city pass. So they're just come in, they work, and they have to go back out because there's nothing for them in the city, because they cannot actually access like buses or anything, or get be able to get a house there, except for the temporary housing they have them in while they work. None of that.
Well, did you see the COVID pass things that's happening over there as well? So there were, what seems to be happening is that the government, whoever they are, whether it's local or national, I don't know, but they're changing the status on people's mobile phones from the green to red or vice versa, which I don't know which means what. So I'm presuming red means that you've got COVID or you've been in touch with someone with COVID, but they're doing it arbitrarily for political reasons. So if you're a dodgy person. So if you were like us, any of us, we go out one day and then suddenly you can't go to your job because when you're going through the checkpoint, the colour has changed from good to bad. And then you've got to stay at home. You can't earn money, can't spend money, you can't do anything. And we're going the same way. I think So I always say this: keep your guns. Whatever happens, keep your guns, because you're the only country that will be able to fight back against any of this happening.
Well,
That's turned a dark corner, hasn't it? Sorry.
Like, get that campaign going, because that's one of the things. Like, look, love Nigel Farage and Lawrence Fox and those people, and it looks like you might have a resurgence in third parties that since the Tories are so poor and everything. But I have never ever seen a candidate from England, and there may be some that I just don't know about, or some minor faction that have said, "Hey, why aren't we legalizing guns?" Hey, and even Lawrence Fox, when he was running for mayor of London, that it's like, oh, well, we should have stop and search. Why don't you have, concealed carry? Why don't you have some level of like the?
Well, if you think about this, they've done such a good job on brainwashing generation after generation in this country. The thought of us having access to guns now, for a long time, it's only in the last sort of 4 or 5 years that I've thought having gun ownership was a good thing. Before that, I used to think, oh, well, if we got rid of guns, no one would be shot. It's like, until you realize, there's like really bad gun crime in Liverpool down the road. There's really bad gun crime in Manchester city centre.
Out there in the streets with machetes. Sorry. Like,
they'll do it with a knife and fork, won't they, if you can't get a gun,
I know. It's like the famous scene from Indiana Jones where the guy jumps out with a saber, so he just shoots him.
Yeah.
That's what the law-abiding people of England need. Like,
well, I don't think people will. I think the anti-gun sentiment is so ingrained that even in right wing, even they are quite anti-guns, really. I think they're all for Americans keeping their guns. But I think it's because we know who the idiot next door is.
I know who the idiot next door is, but I'd rather be able to shoot him.
Very true story.
Yes. So speaking of which, sorry, I'm just rabbiting on here now, but there was a case this week on TV. It happened about a year ago, I think, where some 2 guys broke into his house, and he had his wife and children there. So he then chased them out, and they were on a motorbike. He was in his car, and he was chasing them. And there was an accident. His car allegedly clipped the motorbike by accident, and they were hurt, but they didn't die. Now, that guy whose house was broken into ended up having a 2-year sentence. The guys that tried to break into his house got a suspended sentence for attempted burglary. So that means they didn't do any time. Plus, the guy that knocked them over in his car had to pay them, I think it was £2,000 each compensation. Now, the thing that we have here, which I don't know whether it's different by state, but if someone broke into our home here, we literally cannot do anything. If we hit them, if we hurt them, we'll be the ones that go to prison. And I'm not joking about that. That is accurate. It's what happens. To get away with it, you have to pretend that you saw a weapon or you thought they had a weapon. And if you don't, you will go to prison for attacking them. Whereas in America, I believe if someone comes into your property, you can shoot them.
Depends on where you are. Yeah, there's some states you can't, some states you can. In many states, like that situation you were describing with the guy chasing them, once they leave your property, you no longer have a right to continue pursuing them. So that's part of why he got in trouble. And honestly, that's kind of on him. He should have stopped at his property line. They were no longer a threat to him.
I think the issue there, though, which you can understand, is apparently they had done this 75 times in the local area.
They didn't just shoot them?
And the police knew who they were. They were a problem, so I can see why he did it.
Can't do anything, but the police won't do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a sad thing to be in that. I mean, I don't know that anybody's been told, but I am an anarchist. So, anarcho-capitalist to be specific. But so state police really aren't my preference. I prefer private security and so forth. And this is specifically why. I mean, the state police really has no continued incentive to continue to protect them if the people above you say don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is the same in the States as well, but in Manchester, there's quite a big Jewish population. It's probably the one of the biggest in the country. I think London will have a bigger population. And what they do is they have their own police force. They've employed a private police force. It's the only one that I know of in the country. And why they've done it, I don't know. All I can assume is that the our police force is so full of a certain particular type of person that hates Jewish people, a certain religion, let's say, that they don't trust that the police will actually, do anything for them.
I mean, for the past decade or so, anti-Semitic attacks have been on the rise, like specifically targeting Jewish people, and that has been, I mean, all over the world. But it makes sense.
Yeah,
different synagogues and things getting attacked, and it's bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
should we talk about food again?
Food is a much better subject. People don't typically get upset about food.
But
I'm sure somebody would.
Oh, I'm sure people get upset about everything we talk about. But
just don't talk about how you like your steak cooked. We'll be okay. Or pineapple on pizza.
I'm a pineapple person. I like it.
So am I.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I've ever had it.
What?
I like pineapple, bacon, and jalapeno. That's the way I like my pizza.
Ooh,
that actually sounds delicious, and I will
with
try
mushrooms as well, and then that'd be perfect.
Mushrooms are always a good addition.
But guys, I know that I'm always the one to break up the party, but it is going on after 4 here, which means I have to go feed the people. So is there anything that we missed that we didn't hit?
Just throw a can of cheese at them. They can feed themselves.
Our lovely guest has not had her time knitting challenge yet.
Damn it.
Oh, yes. Oh, how are we going to do this? I need to do it on the... I need to find... What was it I did last time? Online timer, isn't it?
The question is do I remember how to make a stitch?
Here, quick, get in some practice ones.
I managed to cast on, so I was impressed with myself there.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing for you. I was trying to watch a video to get a reminder.
We can always have her come back on if she doesn't remember.
That is true. That is true.
That's up to if she wants to come back on. I mean,
I definitely come back on. Are you kidding me? Next time I'll actually remember to bring my own crafts as opposed to just some knitting needles and yarn.
Are you doing what Birdie did the other week, where you're just wrapping it around and then unwrapping it?
Oh, yeah.
We need to get Birdie back to.
We were trying to teach her to knit on air, and it was a difficulty.
All 17 of us.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out how to get this.
You put your needle through the loop.
This one.
Yep, from the. I can't say it. I have to do it. You go from the front towards the back.
Okay.
And you wrap it around. You wrap the yarn around. You pull it through.
Okay, I think I got this figured out. All right, we can do this.
All right, cool.
I did it.
Cezanne was making fun of us, asking why we didn't plan ahead with the timer. Have you ever known us to plan ahead for anything? You should see the group messages we have before we do these. Anne sends a message like Monday night, like, who's in for tomorrow? Like, it's not a professional show here.
Look, I struggle. I'll fully admit it. And going like, oh man, it's Tuesday again. Wait.
And then I have to do that thing. Is it in an hour or 2 hours? Because I can't work out the time difference between Eastern time and UK time, and I never know.
I had to check 3 times that she said Eastern because I live in Montana, so I had to subtract 2 hours. It's like, where am I at noon? Was I okay at noon? Okay, no, it's noon. But wait, she said 2. Did she say 2 is Eastern? Okay, it's 2 Eastern, so it's noon here. Yeah, no, I had that conversation a number of times with myself this week.
Because I do most of the scheduling, I downloaded an app that tells me what time it is wherever anybody is. So I can be like, so it's 2 Eastern here, so you need to be here at noon. Or Neil, it's 5 there or 7 or 7?
7, yeah. Yeah. It's 9 p.m. now, or just after 9. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm in Central Time, but I'll normally tell people Eastern because that's what all the TVs say. They always put things in Eastern. As unfortunate as that is, I'm like, well, if people say that's a standard benchmark of whatever your time, that's a good thing. And I don't want to jump back and forth between, Eastern, Central, Eastern, this.
Well, and I send out the invitations, and I think because I'm Eastern, it lists. I mean, it must list other times. I don't know how that even works. I have no idea. Does it list other times?
I
Or
think
is
it
it in
probably,
Eastern?
depending on what you're sending it through, it probably lists the time in the person's time zone.
Interesting. I have no idea. I don't know how it works. We need a secretary.
Right.
No.
Tell me when you want me to start the stopwatch.
Okay. Yeah. Are you ready?
All right. Yeah.
So-
Whenever you're ready.
3,
We'll see what happens.
2, 1, go.
Okay. Oh shit. Nope. Come on. I'll be happy to get 2.
Hey, just do your best. And then when you practice some, you can try again.
I lost it. It fell
Oh
off.
no, no.
Okay.
No, put it back down and keep going.
I'm still trying to get 1. All right. No. There we go. So.
One of my
come
kids
on,
wanted
really?
burgers tonight. I think that we might just go out if I can convince the husband. I don't want to cook. It's my
I know
nemesis.
that feeling.
Well, then I've got one kid that won't eat potatoes, and I've got the other one that won't eat rice, and we cannot eat noodles every night of our life. And I'm tired, even though I'm Italian. My husband likes to tell me that there's more to eat than pasta. That Italians eat a lot of
4,
other things.
3, 2, 1, stop.
Oh, I made 2.
Yay!
So I met my goal.
Good.
How many did you do?
2.
Yay!
I'm happy with 2. I'm gonna have to practice this more.
Mhm.
I'm just so into crocheting that I don't ever sit down and try to knit.
I'm
really
a fan of the crochet challenge. I would like to.
I think we should.
I would like to beat Tabitha. See, we got this. Murder Knits comes on sometimes for her, and she has the record at like 68 stitches a minute or something stupid. So she's still in the
Still in
lead.
the
Look at
lead.
her. Look at her being a
Yep.
jerk. Thanks a lot,
Absolutely still in the
Tabitha.
lead. Actually, I think I just took your bottom spot. I think Anne told me someone had 3.
12 was it? I think the lowest was 12. I
Barry
think.
had 14, I think. I
Ah.
have to keep
I've got
it all.
written down somewhere.
Write it down, and I should keep them in like one space together. That would make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Neil has the leaderboard. I just haven't seen it updated in a while.
Yeah, yeah. That's because I've not updated it.
But for, technically, I think she's still at 1. Like she had a stroke, but she was just learning right then.
Yeah.
I think if we do a crochet one, we need to have very strict, well, I say strict, but like size of hook, size of yarn, how many stitches you've already got on, because if you do it from scratch, it's going to slow you down.
Well, you'd have to at least have a chain or something. But
yeah, I mean,
a few rows, I think.
Like do a chain of 20 and.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters what hook size it is or whatever. I mean, you're still making
just
the
affects
same
the size of the
stitches.
stitch.
Yeah,
because I mean, for how we've done the knitting challenge, it's just straight knitting, fast as you can, whatever your project happens to be. Like we don't.
I still think we should do purl.
You're the only one who wants to purl. Because he's faster at purling than knitting. That's why he wants to do it.
Yeah.
No. Nope. Okay, so Horror, tell people where they can find you. If they have enjoyed you here, they can go seek out more.
Okay, yeah, if you've enjoyed seeing me here, you can find me basically everywhere. On Twitter, I'm at H Amorata. Everywhere else, I'm Horror Amorata. You can find me on Twitch, Rumble. I do have a YouTube channel. Anne was actually kind enough to be on with me for, it's called An Evening with the Eldritch, where I interview people. Sometimes I'm in my VTube form. Sometimes I'm just me. It all depends on.
While that it's a lot of fun to see it. It's a cool bit of technology, but it is difficult. You're all squidded out. And it's like,
yeah. Some people, it works better with some people than others. So, but it's how I kind of eased myself into streaming because I wasn't ready to be on camera yet. So, but it's a fun thing to do. But I do gaming, horror gaming, other kinds of gaming. I just enjoy gaming in general. And I do Wednesday nights on the Shagsworth channel. We do the midweek hump. I'll have to reach out to you guys if you guys can stay up late sometime to have you on. because we've had Carrie on a time or two.
Yeah.
What?
You had Carrie on recently.
Yeah, we had Carrie on actually just last week. And she's always a great time. So, but it is a later show. So if you happen to be awake, well, I think most people are awake at 11, 10, 11. Then you stop by and we usually have a good time.
That would be 6 a.m. for me. I won't be awake. I think.
And I, at 10 o'clock every night, I tell my husband, well, it's bedtime. I'll see you in the morning. So, but Ant's a night owl.
I think it sounds like a good time.
It's a great time. I mean, we'll definitely have to have you, well, at least Ann on. I don't know if anybody else wants to stay up that late or get up that early as it might be.
Heck, if I can do it in my pajamas, I don't care.
Oh, we don't care what you wear. Half the time I'm a squid.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, I have a confession. I haven't played a computer game since Duke Nukem.
Oh, wow.
Which would have been 94, 95, I think. And SimCity. Wow. SimCity, I don't know if that's even a thing anymore.
Well,
Not the
Sims.
Sims.
There's no gaming.
SimCity.
It's just politics and pop culture.
I gotta say, so my old laptop died a horrible death. So I got a new to me one, which I don't know much about laptops, and I chose poorly. And it was so slow that it cannot run any video games that I try, and it just goes. Like, oh no.
Well, I ended up getting one that I don't need because I've got one that is a gaming laptop. But the problem with it is that the battery runs out after about 2 hours. You know, you've pretty much got to have it. And all I'm doing is Word. You know, it's like completely wasted on me. Maybe we should swap.
I mean,
no, I'm not swapping.
Oh. But there, sorry, I interrupted.
No. But yeah, so that's where you can find me. And thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the super chats, Ellie Mae. We will use them to mail Neil something fabulous that he will have to eat on air. And
oh, don't forget, issue 6 of Block Magazine's out on Friday. Definitely by Saturday, but I'm hoping for Friday. It's a good one.
Yeah, I have a free pattern in it.
Oh, yes, you do. Thank you for that. I love that pattern, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
I love that pattern. I'm going to actually knit it.
I never did get around to knitting it, but hey, whatever. Re-knitting it for the pictures, but what are you going to do?
I was going to say, who knitted it?
I knit it.
It should be said that all patterns in Block Magazine are free patterns because it's a free publication that you can get for free.
Correct. But I put a pattern in this issue is what I was trying to say, and it is free. So anyway, thanks for joining us, people. We will see you next time. I have to go make dinner. So have a good afternoon, night, whatever. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.